A very long time ago, in ancient India, there was a kingdom called Vikramgarh. A very cruel and merciless king named Vikral Singh ruled over it. Every day the king would marry a new girl, and the very next day he would have his newly wedded wife hanged to death. The king's harsh and cruel decisions made his entire subjects very sad. The king's ministers and courtiers were also very unhappy with him, but they did not have the courage to express their displeasure before the king or try to reason with him. An eerie silence, along with an atmosphere of strange fear, prevailed throughout the kingdom. The people of the state only knew that the king married a new girl every day and had her killed the next morning. But no one knew why he did this. On the southern border of the kingdom, in the middle of dense forests, lived an old magician with his daughter Sudakshina. He was well aware of the king's deeds, so he had left the city in time and started living in the jungle outside. His daughter Sudakshina was extremely beautiful, intelligent, and pure-hearted. She helped every person who came to her father. If someone came sick, she would prepare medicines and cure them. If any sad soul came to her, she would comfort them with her words. One day, when the magician had to go to the city for some work, Sudakshina also stubbornly insisted on going with her father. When both of them reached the city entrance gate, they saw people crying and wailing, cursing the king. They were carrying the dead body of yet another girl whom the king had hanged that day. The old magician understood the whole situation as soon as he saw them. He immediately told his daughter to leave from there. But when Sudakshina saw those crying and grieving people, her heart melted. She said, "No, father. First I want to know why these people are so sad and why they are cursing the king." Despite the magician's repeated attempts to persuade her, she refused to leave. When she asked some people the reason, they looked at her strangely for a moment and said, "Don't you know anything?" On Sudakshina's insistence, the people narrated their entire painful story to her. After listening to everything, Sudakshina was stunned. After a while, she composed herself and said to her father, "Father, I want to marry the king." Hearing these words from his daughter's mouth, the magician was shocked and said, "Daughter, have you gone mad? You just heard that the king gets his wife killed the very next day." Sudakshina said, "Father, I know very well what I am saying. You just give me permission to go to the king. If with my intelligence, compassion, and truth I can change a merciless person, then this will be the greatest achievement of my life. Otherwise, everyone has to die one day, and no one's death is in the hands of the king, it is in the hands of the Almighty." After much persuasion and argument, the magician had no choice but to bow before his daughter's stubbornness. With a heavy heart, he gave his daughter permission to go to the king. After receiving her father's permission, Sudakshina bowed to him and walked towards the king's palace with firm determination. Why did the king hang his newly wedded wife the very next day after marriage? Initially, King Vikral Singh was not so cruel and merciless. He was a very kind-hearted king who loved his subjects dearly. When he reached marriageable age, his father, King Nansen, got him married to Rupavati. Rupavati was an extremely beautiful woman, just like her name suggested. King Vikral Singh became completely enamored by her beauty and loved his wife with all his heart and soul. Everything was going well. But then one day, the ground slipped from beneath the king's feet. One day, the king returned straight from the court to the queen's chambers. When he entered the queen's room, he saw his wife Rupavati in a passionate embrace with a slave. Seeing this, King Vikral Singh's world was shattered. In a fit of rage, he immediately ordered that both his wife and the slave be walled up alive. After Queen Rupavati's death, the king drowned in an ocean of despair. He stopped meeting people, gave up attending court, and locked himself inside a dark room. Whenever the king closed his eyes, the scene of his wife and the slave would haunt him. Time passed, but he could not forget that scene. It was from that moment that a demon was born inside the king, and he began burning in the fire of revenge. The king called skilled painters and had them recreate the exact scene of his wife with the slave. He hung that painting in his bedroom. The king was so deeply hurt by his wife's betrayal that he began to see every woman as unfaithful. To ensure that the fire of hatred against women in his heart never diminished, he had that painting hung in his room as a constant reminder. Blinded by rage, the king decided that he would marry a new woman every day and have her executed the very next morning. In the beginning, the ministers tried to oppose the king's painful decision. The ministers tried their best to explain and dissuade him, but the king did not listen to anyone. Since then, the king had been living a life filled with cruelty and mercilessness. Meanwhile, the magician's daughter Sudakshina also reached the king's palace. She told the palace guards that she wanted to meet the king and wished to become his wife. Hearing this, the guards looked at her with strange eyes and quietly conveyed her message to the king. The king was also puzzled. What kind of mad girl was this who wanted to embrace death herself? He ordered the servants to bring her to him immediately. When King Vikral Singh saw Sudakshina coming with the soldiers, he kept staring at her. He had never seen such an innocent and beautiful woman before. A smile of happiness appeared on the king's face upon seeing her, but it quickly faded and he became sad again. The king asked Sudakshina, "What are you thinking, coming here? Don't you know that marrying me means embracing death?" Sudakshina looked fearlessly into the king's eyes and said with firm determination, "O king, I know everything about you. It is after knowing everything that I have decided to marry you." King Vikral, surprised, said, "Fine. If you know everything and this is still your decision, then I have no objection. Prepare for the wedding. We will marry tomorrow itself." The king and the magician's daughter got married. The magician's daughter Sudakshina became a queen. At night, Sudakshina adorned herself with all 16 types of jewels and sat waiting for the king on the wedding bed. When King Vikral Singh entered his chamber and saw the magician's daughter dressed as a beautiful bride, he was mesmerized by her beauty. But then his eyes fell on the painting of his previous wife hanging on the wall. Seeing it, the king became furious. All his painful memories came rushing back. He remembered the unfaithfulness of women. However, in one corner of the king's heart, a special place of respect had been created for Sudakshina because of her courage, simplicity, and beauty. The king angrily said to Sudakshina, "Why have you done this foolish thing? You know very well that tomorrow morning I will have you killed." The newly wedded queen, with great politeness and respect, replied, "My lord, this decision is in the hands of the Almighty, and I accept his decision in every situation." The king said, "Even knowing what will happen to you tomorrow morning?" Queen Sudakshina replied, "Maharaj, I know very well that as soon as morning comes, you will have me killed. But before that, tonight is ours, and the joy of love is not measured by its length but by its depth." The king said, "Your heart-stealing words will have no effect on me." Queen Sudakshina, with great love and dignity, said, "O my lord, even if it is only for one night, I am still your wife. As such, I have full rights over this night. You may do whatever you wish to do in the morning. But for now, please set aside your anger and calm yourself a little." Hearing Queen Sudakshina's words, the king's anger cooled down. He calmly sat down on a chair kept in the room. Queen Sudakshina said, "Maharaj, to entertain your heart tonight, what shall I do? Shall I tell you a story? Shall I recite some couplets or poetry? Or shall I sing a song?" The king replied, "You are my wife for one night and you have full rights over this night. Come, tell me a story." With great respect, the queen began to narrate a story to the king. There was once a merchant. He had a wife, a grown-up daughter, and 2 young sons. Because his daughter had come of age, the merchant was constantly worried about her marriage. He wanted to save money and perform her wedding with great pomp and show. One day, he had to go abroad for business. The journey was long. He told his family that he would return in a few days and left. While leaving, his daughter gave him some dates and said, "Father, the journey is long. If you feel hungry on the way, eat these." The merchant took the dates given by his daughter and set off for his journey. Due to the long road and intense heat, he became tired while walking. Suddenly, he saw a well on the way. He thought, "Why not rest here for a while? I'll sit comfortably, eat some dates, drink cool water, and then continue my journey." With this thought, he sat down near the well and started eating the dates peacefully. While eating, one date slipped from his hand and fell into the well. As soon as the date fell into the water, the well's clear and pure water instantly turned into blood. At the same time, a furious demon emerged from inside the well. The demon's eyes were red and he was holding a sharp sword in his hands. Seeing all this, the merchant was terrified. He began trembling with fear. The demon angrily said to the merchant, "I will not spare you. I will cut you into pieces with my sword." The merchant, already frightened, started shaking even more and said, "O demon, what wrong have I done to you? Why do you want to kill me?" The demon roared, "O human! The date you threw into the well got stuck in the throat of my innocent child, and he died because of it." The merchant said, "Forgive me, O demon king. I did not see your son anywhere. The date fell into the well by mistake." The demon said angrily, "We demons are not visible to you humans. You should have been careful while eating dates. Now your death is certain. Whether done unknowingly or deliberately, a sin is a sin. I will cut you into pieces and take revenge for my son's death. Blood for blood, that is justice." Finally, the helpless merchant said, "O demon king, if killing me will satisfy your revenge, then I accept it. But I have one condition." The demon asked, "What condition?" The merchant, with a heavy heart, said, "I have many responsibilities. I have taken loans from people which I must repay, and I have to get my grown-up daughter married. Let me fulfill these duties first. After that, I will come to you myself. Then you can take your revenge as you wish." Hearing this, the demon fell into deep thought. While narrating the story, dawn broke. The queen stopped telling the story. The king said, "Why have you become silent? Tell me, did the demon kill the merchant or did he give him some time as per his request?" The queen replied, "Maharaj, the night is over, so the story is also over. Morning has arrived and the time for my death has come." The king said, "But at least tell me this much, did the demon kill him or spare him?" The queen said, "O king, the story is very long. It needs time to tell it completely, and now time has run out." Hearing this, the king fell into deep thought. After thinking for a while, he said to his newly wedded queen, "Don't worry. We will stop time. I grant you one more day of life. Now continue the story." The queen replied, "No, my lord. Stories are told at night. It is morning now. You should attend your royal duties. I will narrate the rest of the story tonight." Hearing this, the king thought to himself, "So many girls have come to me and I have sent them to their death." On everyone's face, the fear of death was clearly visible. But on her face, there is no sign of fear at all. Anyway, her story is very interesting. So I will spare her life only for today. Tomorrow, the same fate awaits her. The king left from there and got busy with his royal duties for the entire day. Meanwhile, the queen folded her hands and prayed to the Almighty, "O Lord, O Supreme God, please grant my husband good sense. Forgive his sinful deeds and show him the right path." Evening arrived. The king came to the room impatiently and said, "Queen, now quickly start telling the story." Seeing the king's impatience, the queen said, "Have a little patience, Maharaj. Let me serve you food first. Eat your meal, then I will continue the story." She served food to the king. The king said, "This is the work of servants. Why are you doing it?" The queen lovingly replied, "No, my lord. It is a wife's duty to take care of her husband." The king said, "It's not as if you are going to spend your entire life with me. Anyway, after tonight, servants will do this work." The queen said, "O my lord, even if it is only for tonight, I have got the opportunity to serve you. I will be able to die in peace, having served my husband as much as I could." Hearing this, the king's heart felt great peace. But then the memory of his wife's betrayal came back to him. The king said angrily, "Don't talk to me about these useless things. Start telling the story quickly." Hearing the king, the queen continued the story. After listening to the merchant, the demon thought for a while and said, "If I give you some time, what guarantee is there that you will return?" The merchant said, "O demon king, I swear by the Almighty that after completing my tasks, I will definitely come back and surrender myself to you. Trust me." The demon said, "Fine. I give you 40 days' time." Thanking the demon, the merchant started walking towards his home. After a few days of travel, he reached his home. Seeing him return, his wife and children became very happy. His wife said, "My lord, you must be tired. Wash your hands and face. I will serve you food immediately. This time, for some reason, my heart was very anxious. Thank God you have returned safe and sound." Hearing these words from his wife's mouth, the merchant's heart writhed in pain inside. He thought, "When I go forever, what will happen to my wife and children?" The merchant had written the remaining days of his life on a piece of paper. Time was passing slowly. He found a suitable match for his daughter, got her married, and bid her farewell. Along with happiness, the merchant was also sad inside because tonight was his last night. The day has come, tomorrow is his last day. Tomorrow that demon will cut him into pieces. The merchant lay on his bed thinking all this. Sleep was miles away from his eyes. Again and again, the thought tormented him, what would happen to his wife and children after he was gone? With a heavy heart, the merchant got up, sat down, and began sobbing bitterly. Hearing his cries, his wife also woke up. Seeing him crying like this, she asked anxiously, "What happened, my lord? Why are you crying?" The merchant first tried to avoid the topic, but when his wife insisted strongly, he broke down and narrated the entire story to her while crying. After listening to everything, the merchant's wife felt as if her heart would burst. She cried out in pain and said, "My lord, I will go to that demon in your place. Let whatever happen to me. Let that demon take my life if he wants, but I will not let anything happen to you." The king interrupted the story and exclaimed, "Wow! What a woman! Do such women really exist in this world? Even angels would bow their heads before such a noble and loyal wife." The queen said, "You are absolutely right, Maharaj. There are a few bad women because of whom fingers are raised at all women, and everyone is judged the same." Hearing this, the king fell into deep thought. The queen continued the story. The merchant explained to his wife and said, "Don't say such things, my dear. If something happens to you while I am alive, it would be a curse upon me. How could you even suggest going to that demon in my place? The mistake was mine, and I must bear the punishment for this mistake. You take care of my children. Never let them feel my absence." The merchant explained a lot to his wife. Talking like this, the night passed and morning arrived. With a heavy heart, the merchant hugged his young children and wife, bid them farewell, and set off on his journey. After traveling a long distance, he reached the same place where he had met the demon. The merchant called out, "O demon king, I have come to you. My 40 days are complete. Come and take my life, fulfill your revenge." Hearing the merchant, the demon came out and said to him, "You are very brave that you have come to me, into the jaws of death, of your own will. But O human, I will not kill you because I have forgiven you." The demon further said, "When you asked me for time, I did not trust you. That is why, from that very day, I was following you. Whatever you said was absolutely true. Now go and take care of your wife and children. They are in a very bad state, crying for you." Hearing these words from the demon's mouth, the merchant was overjoyed. He folded his hands and thanked the demon profusely. When the story ended, the king had become completely emotional. He was now looking at the queen with loving eyes. The queen said, "O Maharaj, not all women are the same. And as long as you keep that painting in your room, your pain will never lessen, and you will continue to see every woman as unfaithful." Hearing this, the king tore down the painting of his unfaithful wife from the wall and destroyed it. He took the queen's hands in his own and said, "O queen, today you have transformed my heart. I don't know how many sins this sinner has committed. O queen, you are truly blessed. Today you have opened my eyes." The queen replied, "O Maharaj, if you wish to kill me, you may do so. But I have one condition, do not have me killed by soldiers. Kill me with your own hands. I cannot bear the thought of any soldier touching me. If I die by your hands, my soul will find peace." The king said, "No, my queen. I will not harm you at all. You are a goddess who has shattered my hollow illusions and pulled me out of a life of disgrace. O my beloved, I will always keep you on my eyelids. Whatever sins I have committed, the Almighty may never forgive me for them, but in the remaining life, I only want to spread happiness, with my subjects and with you." Meanwhile, when the magician came to know that his daughter was not only safe and sound but had become the king's queen and the one who opened his eyes, and that the king had become a good human being, his happiness knew no bounds. King Vikral Singh lived a happy and joyful life with Queen Sudakshina. Conclusion. The merchant accepted the punishment for his mistake, but his wife's loyalty and love ultimately showed him a new path. The demon, seeing his honesty and dedication, forgave him and he successfully returned home. The king understood the queen's wisdom and sacrifice and freed himself from his old pain. This story tells us that real change in life can only be brought about by the power of true love and morality. Thank you once again from the bottom of my heart for staying with the story till the end. Please comment and share your opinion about how you liked the story. And if there is any story in your mind that you would like to see in the form of an excellent video, do tell me.